Chaos forges emperors. Combat creates strength. Adversity tempers the will. Victory writes legend. Dawn has barely grazed the tops of the acacias on the savannah, but beneath the deepening amber sky, the hunt has already begun. In the tall grass to the west, golden shadows drift forward without a sound. The lionesses are not as powerful as the males. But they are more patient, more coordinated, and they understand a truth that governs life on the savannah. Patience decides the line between feast and famine. Their teamwork is flawless. One lioness drops low, belly pressed flat against the earth, watching, waiting. Another faints wide, just enough to draw one of the calves into a moment of careless curiosity. The lead lioness explodes from the tall grass. What follows is a few seconds of pure chaos. Dust erupts, roars shatter the stillness. The pride descends upon their prize. The young hippo goes down. Before the hunt began, someone had been watching all along. On tree branches, several hundred feet away, a nocturnal fortress beyond any lion's reach, a troop of baboons has been awake for some time. Their eyes scan the savannah from above. The alpha male, over 80 pounds of rippling muscle, stands atop the highest rocky outcrop. His canines measure 2 inches, rivaling those of a mountain lion. Yet fangs are not his most formidable weapon. His intellect is the true marvel. Facial recognition, political alliances, social strategies, so sophisticated that scientists call them Machiavellian baboons, possess intelligence comparable to a 3-year-old human child. A piercing bark shatters the dawn, an alarm call reserved exclusively for lions. Baboons have distinct alarm calls for leopards, another for eagles, another for snakes, each predator a unique frequency. The entire savanna listens. Antelope stop grazing, ostriches lift their heads, zebras swivel their ears. A cascade effect, a single cry triggers thousands of survival reflexes rippling across the grasslands. When baboons sound the alarm, no creature on the plain dares ignore it. But today, the warning comes too late for the oryx herd to the west. They have already fallen beneath lion claws. Several hundred feet away, a flock of African ostriches feeds alongside a different antelope herd, this group considerably safer. The proximity between these two species is no accident. This is a sensory alliance, an unspoken pact honed by evolution across millions of years. The ostrich possesses eyes 2 inches in diameter, larger, remarkably, than its own brain. The largest eyes of any land animal on Earth, a Guinness World Record. From a vantage point of nearly 9 feet, the ostrich serves as the savanna's mobile watchtower. Each eye boasts 5 times the acuity of a human's, scanning every flicker of movement across the vast grassland. But eyes, larger than a brain, they see everything, yet comprehend very little. Ostriches detect motion but cannot analyze the nature of the threat. At top speed, nearing 45 miles per hour, the fastest creature on 2 legs, with strides spanning 10 to 16 feet yet running, remains the absolute last resort. Together, they form a surveillance network through which no frequency, no movement can slip undetected. And the myth everyone still believes: ostriches do not bury their heads in sand. It is the oldest fabrication in all of natural history. They lower their heads to the ground to reduce their profile or to turn eggs within the nest. But the sounds that mark sovereignty also serve as invitations to challenges. A howl echoes from the distance. Then that spine-chilling laughter, a sound no one hears once without remembering forever. A grinding, rising shriek. A clan of spotted hyenas converging from every direction. The clan is led by the largest female, an absolute matriarchal society. Here is something most people get wrong. Spotted hyenas are not scavengers. They hunt 60 to 95% of their own food, the most efficient endurance predators in all of Africa. And here is the more astonishing truth: it is the lions who routinely steal from hyenas, not the other way around. Data from the Ngorongoro Hyena Project, decades of observation, confirms this. But today, the hyenas want to reclaim what is theirs. They encircle a male lion feeding on a carcass. The male lion rises. Over 400 pounds of sheer physical dominance towers above them. Hyenas understand one survival rule: never confront a healthy male lion head-on, regardless of numbers. Their strategy is harassment and patience. The hyenas swarm in within seconds, jaws crushing bone, stripping the remains clean in minutes. On the savannah, nothing goes to waste. Patience has defeated raw power, at least for today. The hyenas finish feeding, bones lie crushed. The savannah falls silent once more, but the ground beneath does not. A tremor radiates through the earth at a frequency below the threshold of human hearing. Not an earthquake, not thunder. It is the call of the African elephant. The herd crosses the grassland each footfall, pressing over 13,000 pounds into the soil, generating seismic waves that travel more than 10 miles through the earth. Elephant feet receive these vibrations, seismic communication, a language that humans took decades to discover. Leading the herd is the oldest female, the matriarch, the living memory of the entire family. Like hyenas, elephant society is strictly matriarchal. But unlike hyenas, power here derives not from fangs or claws, but from memory. The matriarch remembers every water source, every migration path, every drought stretching back 60 years. In years of devastating drought, the entire herd's survival depends on the memory of a single individual. And the trunk, perhaps the most wondrous organ evolution has ever produced, contains over 40,000 muscle bundles within a single structure. The entire human body possesses just 640 muscles. The elephant herd passes, and the savannah transforms in the most literal sense. They topple trees, carve pathways, dig water wells upon which dozens of other species depend. Ecosystem engineers, Africa's greatest architects. No living creature dares block their path, not even the lion. On the savannah, every dawn is a new battle. Every creature simultaneously weapon and target, hunter and hunted. But there exists a far greater arena of conflict where warfare has raged for millions of years, beneath waves that blanket a third of this planet. That arena is the Pacific Ocean. More than 63 million square miles, larger than all the world's land masses combined, 10 times the size of Russia. One-third of Earth's surface covered by a single ocean, and humanity has explored less than 5% of it. 25,000 islands scattered across its waters, more than any other ocean. 75% of the planet's active volcanoes line its ring of fire. And at its deepest point, Challenger Deep, nearly 36,000 feet beneath the surface, sunlight has never reached. If Mount Everest were placed at the bottom, its summit would still lie submerged by more than a mile. Silver sardines flash into living clouds, spiraling in synchronized motion. Albatrosses glide on the wind for 1,000 miles without a single wing beat. Blue whales, the largest creatures ever to exist, drift through the dark water like phantoms. Its name means peaceful, yet nothing here knows peace. Every coral reef is a fortress. Every stretch of open water is a battlefield, and every abyss is a realm where light itself dares not enter. Just a few feet beneath the surface, a world both dazzling and merciless unfolds. The coral reef, an underwater city where thousands of species battle for every inch of territory. The clownfish, 4 inches long, vivid orange with 3 white bars edged in black, swims among the lethal tentacles of an anemone. A fish everyone knows by name, yet few understand its true nature. Those tentacles can paralyze any creature on contact. Thousands of cnidocyte cells firing toxin in 1,000th of a second. Yet the clownfish is cloaked in a specialized mucus, a chemical armor bestowed by evolution across millions of years. This is perfect symbiosis. The clownfish gains protection within a toxic fortress. The anemone gains a cleaner of parasites and scraps of fallen food. Neither can survive without the other. But within this fortress, an iron hierarchy prevails. Clownfish live under an absolute size-based dominance system. The largest female rules, the largest male ranks second. The rest ranked by every fraction of an inch, larger by even half an inch, and one rises above, smaller, and one falls below. And here is nature's closely guarded secret. Every clownfish is born male, all of them, without exception. When the sole female dies, the largest male transforms, becoming female within weeks. Protandrous hermaphrodite. The process is irreversible. The kingdom must never be left without its queen. But make no mistake, the most docile-looking fish on this reef is also a killer of its own kind, without hesitation. Any unfamiliar clownfish that intrudes upon the territory is bitten, chased, and if it does not leave, killed. 4 inches long, yet defending its realm at any cost. A predator glides past its shadow, falling across the coral. The clownfish detects it first. The clownfish vanish into the anemone's tentacles in an instant. Stinging filaments deploy like a wall of fire. The attacker veers away. The fortress holds, as it has held for millions of years. A few feet from the anemone fortress, a small blue fish patrols its territory with a determination that rivals any warrior. The blue tang, roughly 12 inches long, with 2 scalpel-sharp spines concealed at the base of its tail. Normally, these blades lie folded within grooves in the skin, but when threatened, those surgical edges spring outward, capable of inflicting wounds painful enough to make most predators retreat. Yet the blue tang's greatest role is not combat, it is gardening. They control the algae that encrust the coral, keeping the reef able to breathe. Without blue tangs, algae would suffocate the coral, and the entire submerged city would perish. A gardener armed with scalpels, warrior and farmer inhabiting the same body. But something is approaching the reef that no one has detected. No shadow, no sound, nothing at all until it is far too late. The giant Pacific octopus averaging 30 to over 100 pounds. The record exceeding 600 pounds with an arm span nearing 30 feet, moves across the ocean floor. Millions of chromatophore pigment cells in its skin shift color in under 0.2 of a second. Not a few seconds, 0.2 of a second, faster than the blink of an eye. Accompanied by iridophores producing iridescent hues and papillae, altering skin texture, transforming smooth flesh into the rough grain of stone. Boneless, save for a single keratinous beak, the body can squeeze through any gap just a few inches wide. Camouflage so perfect that no military technology can rival it. The octopus mimics rock, motionless, flawless. Even a fish, swimming mere inches away, fails to detect it. The coral reef is measured in inches territory, contested by fractions of an inch. But in the open ocean, the battlefield spans thousands of miles, and the apex predators are the size of a bus. "20 feet long, over 2 tons. Roughly 300 teeth arranged in 5 to 6 rows, each tooth over 2 inches long, and when one breaks, a replacement rises to take its place, for life. The great white shark, the ocean's most consummate ambush predator, 300 million years of evolution have honed it into a flawless hunting machine. Older than the dinosaurs, older even than trees, and virtually unchanged across all that time. Its senses form a multi-layered radar system that no human technology can match. Vision spanning nearly 360 degrees, with only 2 small blind spots just ahead of the snout and behind the skull. The lateral line detecting every vibration and pressure change in the water from hundreds of feet away. And the most covert weapon of all, the ampullae of Lorenzini. Hundreds of tiny pores across the snout, detecting the bioelectric fields of every living organism, detecting a single drop of blood in dozens of gallons of water. A heartbeat, a muscle contraction, a nerve impulse, the shark perceives it all. Nothing escapes this biological radar. Farther offshore, the sea surface erupts as hundreds of sleek silver-grey bodies rocket skyward, then crash back down. Common dolphins over 8 feet long, 150 to over 400 pounds, travel in pods ranging from dozens to thousands. Megapods, a phenomenon found only in the Pacific. This is no chaotic swarm. This is an army with commanders, formations, and tactics. Each dolphin possesses a personal name, a signature whistle, a sound unique to that individual and no other in the entire ocean. They call each other by name, remembering the names of companions across decades. Social memory surpassing that of most mammals. Clicks for echolocation, natural sonar painting, a three-dimensional map of the ocean, whistles for communication, moans for emotion. 3 acoustic systems operating simultaneously, like 3 radio channels on a single frequency. When a sardine shoal is detected, the army shifts into attack mode. Formations change in an instant. Encirclement, driving the prey into a bait ball, a shimmering silver sphere spinning amid the open ocean. Tail slaps stunning clusters of fish into unconsciousness. Then, feeding in rotation, each dolphin taking its turn through the bait ball, ensuring every member receives a share. Intelligence saves lives, coordination keeps the pod alive, sharing keeps the pod united. But even the ocean's most intelligent army cannot overcome what is now ascending from below a dark shape, larger than anything they have ever faced. In the open ocean, cooperation saves the pod. But beneath the abyss, where light extinguishes entirely, solitude is the only companion. The sperm whale, the largest toothed predator on Earth, each tooth weighs up to 1 pound, with 18 to 26 teeth lining each side of the lower jaw. Over 50 tons, over 50 feet. The head occupying a full third of the body's length, housing the spermaceti organ, a biological apparatus that generates the loudest sound in the animal kingdom. "236 decibels, the sperm whale's click is more powerful than a fighter jet at takeoff." Sufficient to stun prey and map the ocean through total darkness using sound alone. Holding its breath for 90 minutes, diving beyond 7,000 feet deeper than any other mammal, then returning to the surface, sleeping vertically, perfectly still, just below the waterline. "10 to 15 minutes per nap. Only 7% of its lifetime devoted to sleep, the least of any mammal ever recorded." But the most remarkable story of the sperm whale lies not in its power, it lies in maternal devotion. Female pods form matriarchal groups, 6 to 12 individuals in tropical waters, bonds lasting a lifetime, gestation spanning 14 to 16 months longer than any marine species. The males are a different story. They depart the pod between 6 and 10 years of age, swimming thousands of miles toward the poles, alone. Silent, decades in solitude. They return to tropical waters only when fully mature, and male sperm whales do not reach maturity until 25, sometimes 50 years of age. A long life, but most of it spent alone. Extreme dimorphism. Males exceed 50 tons, females around 15, more than 3 times the difference. When the males return, they are giants among the pod. An enormous blue shape glides beneath the surface, slow, majestic, as though the ocean itself were drawing breath. The blue whale. The largest creature ever to exist on this planet, surpassing every dinosaur, exceeding everything evolution has produced in 4 billion years of life. Lengths exceeding 90 feet, weight surpassing 300,000 pounds. The tongue alone weighs as much as an adult elephant. The aorta is wide enough for a small child to crawl through. The heart, the size of a golf cart, beats just twice per minute during deep dives. Each beat pumps over 53 gallons of blood. Its heartbeat can be detected from 2 miles away. Their call, 188 decibels, the loudest sound produced by any animal on Earth. Louder than a jet engine. So low in frequency that the human ear cannot perceive it, yet the sound travels across entire oceans from one shore of the Pacific to the other. Before humans flooded the seas with the noise of shipping, 2 blue whales could converse across a distance of more than 1,000 miles. There were once more than 350,000. Industrial whaling in the 20th century slaughtered nearly 99% of them. Fewer than 25,000 remain across all the world's oceans. But even the most magnificent creature is not invincible. An orca pod has assembled a superpod surrounding the whale, taking turns pursuing, biting fins, biting flukes, then swimming atop its back to force the blowhole beneath the surface. The attack, documented at Bremer Bay, Western Australia, published in the journal Marine Mammal Science in 2022, confirmed that orcas can bring down even a healthy adult blue whale. The largest creature of all time drowned by its own distant relatives. After the battle, the ocean falls silent. Blood dissolves into the water. Waves erase every trace, as though nothing had occurred. But tranquility is an illusion. The next battle has already begun somewhere across more than 63 million square miles of ocean. The Pacific Ocean, an arena of biodiversity without parallel. Hundreds of thousands of invertebrate species. Roughly 80 species of marine mammals. And countless species that science has yet to name. Across Savannah and beneath ocean, every creature has fought for millions of years to endure. They survived ice ages, century-long droughts, and predators that evolved faster than they could adapt. But they were never evolved to contend with industrial-scale trawling nets, with plastic drifting across every ocean, with habitat vanishing day by day, hour by hour. Warfare among species keeps ecosystems in balance. Warfare against humanity shatters everything. War never ends. From the savannah where sword-like horns impale the hunter, to the coral reef where clownfish change sex to preserve a kingdom, to the open ocean where an octopus sacrifices an arm to save its life. From the abyss where mother sperm whales form a living wall around their calves, to the surface where 60 orcas bring down the largest creature on the planet. But this very warfare, brutal, relentless, without mercy, is precisely what sustains every ecosystem on Earth. War is not destruction. War is equilibrium. Predators control prey. Prey controls vegetation. Vegetation controls soil and water. Remove a single link, and the entire chain collapses. Destruction is creation. Death nourishes life. On this planet, nothing truly ends. It merely transforms. From savannah to abyss, nowhere is peaceful. And it never shall be. Across the entire planet, only one great cat lives in social groups, and only that group dares contest power in ways no other predator has ever attempted. A coalition of 6 males seized 170,000 acres. The new king slaughtered cubs to erase the old bloodline. A dynasty endured for a few years, then collapsed, and the new king rose upon the body of the old. This is the lion, the only species to turn the savannah into a political battleground where every mane, every scar, every roar carries the weight of power. But today's story is not only about power. It is about identity, the force that compels one species sharing the same genome to produce utterly different kings on every stretch of land. Welcome to Nature's Moments, where we explore the most extraordinary stories that nature has written across millions of years of evolution. From the highlands of Tanzania to the Namib Desert, from India's Gir forest to Kenya's Savannah, each land has forged an entirely different version of the king. In some places, the crown of mane grows so thick it conceals the shoulders. In others, the mane vanishes entirely, yet the king still reigns. One population once dwindled to just 12 individuals, then resurged to nearly 900. A white variant is so rare that fewer than 13 exist in the wild. One question runs through this entire journey. When the land demands that a king surrender his very crown, what remains? Timbavati, northeastern South Africa, where savanna yields to open woodland and sunlight filtering through the canopy illuminates a coat unlike any lion on earth. White, not albino, the eyes retain pigment, the paw pads hold color. This is leucism, a condition entirely distinct. The cause lies within the TYR gene tyrosinase, where a 260G2A mutation reduces melanin production in the hair shaft. This mutation is recessive. Both parents must carry a copy for offspring to be born with a white coat. The result is a creature of staggering beauty. But in the wild, such beauty is a death sentence. A white coat reflects light, rendering the white lion nearly incapable of camouflage while hunting. On the golden savanna, they stand out like snow in midsummer. Here, identity meets paradox. The very trait that makes the white lion unique is also what threatens its survival. Yet white lions endure, because lions are the only great cat to live in prides, and the pride shields what the individual cannot. When a white lion cannot ambush alone, the pride drives prey toward it. When it is too conspicuous to enemies, the dark-maned lions hold the front line. Still, rarity is unforgiving. Fewer than 13 white lions are estimated to exist in the wild at any given moment. The Global White Lion Protection Trust, headquartered in Timbavati, works to reintroduce individuals bred under conservation conditions back to their ancestral lands. A battle to preserve identity for kings that nature painted in its brightest hue and its most fragile. If the white mane is the rarest, then at the opposite end of the spectrum lies a mane so dark it seems to absorb the night itself. Sunset pours fire across the rim of the Ngorongoro crater, where sheer cliffs encircle a valley spanning 100 square miles amid the Tanzanian highlands. Beneath the dew-laden grass, a dark shape moves slow, commanding, and utterly silent. This is the black-maned lion of Ngorongoro, bearing the thickest, darkest mane in the entire lion world. At an elevation of 6,500 feet, average temperatures hover between 66 and 73 degrees Fahrenheit, markedly cooler than the plains below. And it is precisely that cold which allows the black mane to exist. For the black mane is no ornament, it is a burden. Research by West and Packer in 2002 at the University of Minnesota demonstrated that darker manes correlate directly with higher testosterone, superior health, and greater resilience after injury. But a black mane also absorbs heat. In hot regions, it becomes a curse, draining the lion faster, diminishing its hunting success, and shortening its life. Only at Ngorongoro, where the highland holds cold year-round, does the black mane serve as a crown, not a chain. Experiments using model lion decoys revealed that females consistently preferred darker manes, while rival males avoided them. If Ngorongoro maximizes the black mane, then farther east in Africa, a version of the king has lost something far more significant. Tsavo, Kenya, 3 degrees south of the equator, 8,500 square miles of dense thorn bush, where daytime temperatures routinely exceed 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Here, the mane does not exist. Male Tsavo lions are nearly bald, smooth heads, bare necks, without a single notable strand of mane. Placed beside a Ngorongoro lion, they appear to be 2 different species. But they are one, same species, same core genome. The only difference, the land. Extreme heat combined with dense thorn bush, where every step means threading through walls of razor-sharp thorns, has stripped the mane from the Tsavo lion. A long mane snags on thorns, absorbs heat, and becomes a liability for survival. Researchers hypothesize that testosterone in Tsavo lions remains high, yet its outward expression has changed completely. The hormone endures. Only the crown has vanished. No mane, but greater agility in dense scrub. No visual signal for rivals, but fewer wounds across treacherous terrain. Tsavo has sculpted a bear king, and that king still reigns. This contrast strikes at the heart of the central question: does identity reside in the mane or in the blood? If Ngorongoro maximizes the black mane and Tsavo erases it altogether, then between these extremes lives a lion population belonging to neither. They inhabit the genetic crossroads of a continent. Ethiopia, the highland where Africa meets the Arabian Peninsula, where northern and southern gene flows once converged, leaving their imprint upon a lion population unlike any other on Earth. DNA microsatellite and mitochondrial analysis reveals that Ethiopian lions are a genetically distinct population, the last bridge between Africa's northern and southern lineages. Their bodies are more compact than those of plains lions. The dark mane near black extends down to the belly, creating an unmistakable silhouette found nowhere else. But uniqueness does not shield them from peril. Only 800 to 1100 individuals remain, fragmented across 3 isolated regions: Babil, Kaffa, and Alatash. Each small population lives in genetic isolation, and with every passing generation, the gene pool narrows further. This is not merely the story of lions losing habitat. This is the story of a genetic bridge fracturing, and when it breaks entirely, a portion of the lion species' identity will vanish forever. Conservationists have proposed classifying Ethiopian lions as a separate management unit, acknowledging that losing them means losing irreplaceable genetic diversity, not merely numbers. But the story of near-total collapse, followed by resurrection, does not belong to Ethiopia. Dusk vanishes abruptly over Ngorongoro. In the darkness, the black-maned pride awakens. They rest between 15 and 20 hours each day. Males may sleep up to 20. This is not laziness. This is an energy strategy. Every calorie stored through the long day is unleashed in those decisive moments when nightfall transforms the savannah into the hunter's stage. A lion's eyes perceive darkness 6 to 8 times better than human eyes, thanks to the tapetum lucidum, a reflective layer behind the retina. Moonlight that appears faint to humans is enough for a lion to read every movement of its prey. Tonight, the target is the African buffalo. A mature bull weighs up to 1,900 pounds. Exceptional individuals can approach 2,000. Fused horns atop the skull form a bony shield called the boss, hard enough to withstand a lion's fangs. This is no easy quarry. This is the most dangerous creature Ngorongoro's lions confront on a regular basis. Their dark manes merging seamlessly into the night, the phantoms of Ngorongoro glide silently upwind. They narrow the distance with infinite patience. The instant the prey lowers its head to graze less than 100 feet away, the pride erupts, arrows tearing through the darkness. The lead hunter seizes the nape, channeling full force into a lethal bite aimed at crushing the trachea before the colossal beast can counter. Life and death are decided in seconds. The buffalo falls. Buffalo are not the only target. Wildebeest are frequent prey on Ngorongoro nights as well. Wildebeest can sprint up to 50 miles per hour, but sustain that pace only briefly. The lion's strategy is not to outrun its prey, but to materialize closer, more suddenly, where the quarry has no time to react. At night, a wildebeest's detection range shrinks dramatically, and that is all a lion needs. Each successful hunt, though rare, roughly 20 to 30%, sustains the entire pride for days. Each failed hunt squanders precious energy, pushing the lions closer to the threshold of starvation. Night hunting is a game of probability, and Ngorongoro's black-maned lions have evolved to tilt the odds in their favor night after night. But individual prowess, however formidable, has its limits. In the lion's world, true power belongs not to the individual, but to the coalition. Sabi Sands, northeastern South Africa, 2006. 6 male lions entered new territory, and the history of the African savannah would never be the same. They were called the Mapogo, named after the Mapogo, a Mathamaga security company in South Africa, a name that evokes order imposed through force. Six members: Makulu, the largest, likely a half-sibling rather than a full brother, roughly 2 years older, alongside Mr. T, Kinky Tail, Pretty Boy, Rasta, and Scar. For 6 years, the Mapogo controlled approximately 170,000 acres, double the average territory held by a lion coalition. An estimated 100 lions were defeated or killed during their expansion. Eight prides of females fell under their dominion. This was no fairy tale of kingship. This was absolute domination built upon a coalition of 6 operating as a single military unit. The Mapogo's strength lay not in any single individual, but in coordination. Six adult males attacking in unison, a force no pride could withstand. But absolute power does not endure forever. Internal conflict began to tear the coalition apart from within. And pressure from outside a younger, hungrier coalition was closing in. The Ma Jingilane, originally 5 males, one killed by the Mapogo in June of 2010. The surviving 4 matured and ultimately replaced the Mapogo, ruling for approximately 8 years until around 2018. The cycle of power, old coalitions fall, new ones rise, is the eternal heartbeat of lion society. But the Mapogo were not the only legendary coalition. Across the continent, another band of brothers wrote their own saga. Maasai Mara, Kenya. 4 males born in 2008 from the Olkiombo Pride: Sikio, Marani, Hunter, and Scarface. The world called them the Musketeers. Scarface, bearing a prominent scar above his right eye, became the emblem of the group. A face that anyone who had watched BBC's Big Cat Diary would recognize in an instant. In 2012, the 4 brothers seized control of the Marsh Pride, one of the world's most celebrated lion prides, filmed continuously by the BBC across decades. They replaced the previous males, Romeo and Claude, and founded a new bloodline, not preserving the old lineage, but imposing a new order, a new generation. The musketeers' territory extended well beyond the marsh pride, encompassing Paradise, Mugoro, Topi Plains, and Recaro. Scarface died of natural causes in June of 2021, at approximately 13 years of age. A remarkable lifespan for a wild male lion, where the average is only 8 to 10 years. From Mapogo to musketeers, 2 coalitions, 2 continents, 1 law. The power of a male lion is temporary, measured in years, not decades. And every dynasty ends the same way, replaced by a younger, stronger generation. But while male lions battle over territory and mating rights, another struggle unfolds more quietly, yet no less fiercely. The lioness's battle does not unfold on an open battlefield. It plays out in the distance between den and prey, a distance where every step carries the life or death of the next generation. When a lioness has young cubs, her identity transforms entirely. She is no longer merely the pride's hunter, she becomes a mother. The crèche system, where several lionesses raise cubs communally, forms the very foundation of cub survival. While some mothers hunt, others step-powered. Lion cubs are born nearly blind, weighing less than 4.5 pounds, and wholly dependent on their mother's milk for the first 6 to 8 weeks. During this period, the mother hides her cubs in secluded places, dense thickets, rock caves, cliff crevices, far from the pride. The greatest threat sometimes comes not from enemies beyond the pride, when a new male seizes control, infanticide, the killing of the previous male's cubs, is a stark reality every lioness faces. Defending cubs is not only about fending off enemies, sometimes it means defying the new king himself. When hunting, the lioness therefore targets the lowest risk prey. Warthogs, a common target, yet even warthogs pose danger. An adult's tusks can inflict severe injuries. Lionesses often prioritize young warthogs, minimizing risk while securing energy for their cubs. The supreme rule here is energy. A lioness will abandon a chase after just 50 yards of failed pursuit, refusing to waste a single calorie. This is nature's brutal arithmetic of survival. But on the savannah, hunger is not everything. The true threat also comes from other predators, more cunning and faster than any lion. African wild dogs. Packs of 10 to 20 with stamina-based pursuit and the highest hunt success rate among Africa's large carnivores, roughly 60 to 90%. They pose no threat to adult lions. But for cubs, especially when the mother is away, wild dogs are a genuine peril. A lioness defends her cubs against wild dogs, not with speed, but with sheer ferocity. One swipe, one roar, enough to drive back an entire pack. Size is the decisive advantage in direct confrontation. Lionesses are the true backbone of every pride. They remain for life, while males come and go. They pass hunting knowledge through generations, which territories are safe, which seasons bring abundant prey, which water sources are reliable. The lioness's identity lies not in a mane, nor in territory. It lies in the distance between a predator's jaws and her cubs, and the resolve to never let that distance reach zero. If the male fights to claim a throne, the female fights to preserve a bloodline. Two forms of identity, flowing through one species. Yet both male and female share a boundary of power that neither crosses easily. The river, a natural frontier dividing two worlds where two apex rulers meet in stalemate. On the bank, the lion reigns. Beneath the water, the Nile crocodile holds absolute dominion. And at the water's edge, no one is truly safe. The Nile crocodile possesses hardened scales, scutes covering its back and flanks, forming a suit of biological armor. But the belly lacking this armor is its most exposed anatomical weakness. When lions must cross a river to follow migrating herds, to expand territory, or simply to reach water, they are forced to enter the crocodile's domain. This is an interspecies conflict. Not revenge, no complex emotions at play. Simply two apex predators atop the food chain, their territories overlapping at a narrow band of water. Lions typically choose the shallowest crossing, where the current runs weakest, but crocodiles know this too. Both rulers read the terrain, and both wait at the same point. The tension at a river crossing where lions are most vulnerable, where crocodiles are strongest, ranks among the most purely dramatic moments in the natural world. Neither side wins forever. The water boundary endures, and both sides respect it, each in their own way. Where do you think the lion's true identity lies, in its mane, its strength, or its territory? Share your thoughts in the comments below. But all these battles, the night hunts, power coalitions, maternal instinct, the water's edge, unfold across generous lands, where rain still falls, where prey remains plentiful. But when the land takes everything, when rain ceases, prey vanishes, and the coastline holds nothing but bones, can a lion still be a lion? Kunene, northwestern Namibia, average rainfall less than 2 inches per year. Some coastal stretches receive just half an inch. This is one of the driest places on Earth where lions still survive. No migrating herds of wildebeest. No endless grasslands. No shade trees to shelter beneath at midday. Only sand, rock, and an empty horizon. The Namib desert lion is the most extreme test of identity. When the land strips away everything a lion needs, prey, water, shade, what remains? The answer: adapt or vanish. Lions here cover greater distances than any population in Africa, sometimes more than 30 miles in a single night, searching for prey scattered across vast expanses. The Sahara, 3.5 million square miles stretching from the Atlantic to the Red Sea. The largest desert on Earth, where daytime temperatures can exceed 120 degrees Fahrenheit and nights plunge below freezing. Lions once lived here. Then they disappeared, driven out by desertification and humanity. But the desert is not empty. The species that endure here have answered the question of identity in their own way. The dromedary, the one-humped camel, originating from the Arabian Peninsula, domesticated roughly 3,000 to 4,000 years ago. The hump stores fat, not water, a truth many still mistake. The camel's body is an engineering triumph against heat. Core temperature fluctuates between 93 and 108 degrees Fahrenheit, adaptive heterothermy, minimizing sweating and conserving water. When dehydrated, a dromedary can drink between 30 and 37 gallons in a single session. Yet, even the camel, so perfectly adapted, still needs humans. And humans need the camel. An identity shaped by symbiosis, not unlike the Gyr lion's bond with the Maldhari community. But not every species has a partner. In the heart of the Sahara, one species is counting down its final individuals. The addax, the screw-horned antelope, a survivor that never needs to drink, drawing all moisture from vegetation and night dew. Horns measuring 28 to 33 inches on males, elegantly spiraled, serving as both weapon and heat dissipation tool. Fewer than 100 wild addax remain scattered between Niger and Chad. IUCN classification: critically endangered. Addax disperse seeds through dung and enrich soil by digging for plant roots. Losing the addax means losing not just a species, but a vital link in an already fragile desert ecosystem. Fewer than 100. A number so small that every individual carries a name in conservation records. Every death is counted. Every calf born is a statistical miracle. The addax's identity, the ability to live without water, the spiraling horns, the white heat-reflecting coat carried it through millions of years. But identity cannot stop bullets or the off-road vehicles of poachers. Sunset once again sets the vast African savanna ablaze. The wild sovereign stands in silence across the plains, beneath skies where its ancestors roared through thousands of generations. Nature has always been unforgiving. When survival demands that kings shed their proud outer crowns, what defines them is no longer the mane but the killer instinct and an unbreakable will. Identity lies not in appearance, but in blood. And that wild bloodline will flow on so long as there remains a kingdom for them to belong to. Thank you for joining Nature's Moments. The natural world holds countless stories still waiting to be told. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, now is the perfect time. See you in the next story. Dawn blazes across the boundless grasslands, a kingdom where time is not measured in minutes but in a prey animal's final breaths. At the heart of this legendary land, an empire reigns. But its grandeur has always come at the brutal cost of survival. The lion, undisputed sovereign of these sun-scorched plains, possesses not merely raw muscular power, but carries the weight of an entire royal bloodline. The dominant male stands atop a rocky outcrop, his mane rippling in the wind like a banner of absolute authority, scanning the horizon with unwavering vigilance. His scent marks every blade of grass, an invisible signature reminding all trespassers of the price they would pay. His territory stretches across dozens of square miles, land where every inch must be defended with blood. In the shadows of brittle thornbush, young challengers lurk in silence. They wait, patient, cold-blooded. The average reign of a dominant male lasts just 2 to 3 years before a younger, stronger generation arrives to replace him. His roar carries up to 5 miles through the still night air, a declaration of sovereignty that every creature must heed. But the true power of this dynasty lies with the huntress's silent silhouettes moving through the tall grass with terrifying patience. They hunt in coordinated groups, each lioness occupying a specific tactical position, like players on a field, moving in concert without a word. Hunger is an unforgiving teacher. It drives them to execute high-risk pursuit strategies beneath the scorching sun of the dark continent. Their success rate hovers around just 25%, meaning 3 out of every 4 hunts end in failure. But failure never stops them from trying again. Not far away, a family of warthogs forages diligently in the damp soil, entirely unaware of the death sentence hanging over their heads. The scent of freshly turned earth is enticing, but it is also the very signal that betrays their location. The African warthog possesses razor-sharp tusks and survival instincts honed over millions of years of evolution. Their lower tusks sharpen themselves with every opening and closing of the jaw, a perpetual blade forged by nature's own design. The mother leads her young with extreme caution, her ears rotating constantly to catch the faintest tremors of approaching danger. When fleeing, their tails stand bolt upright like signal flags, a follow me beacon, ensuring the piglets never lose their way. Despite their small stature, warthogs can reach speeds of 30 miles per hour, fast enough to outrun most predators if detected in time. Silence here is often a deceiving illusion. It conceals a storm about to break from behind the dusty thickets. The lionesses have closed in, muscles coiled beneath golden hides, each step as weightless as the air itself. Their coordination is a masterpiece of military strategy, an invisible trap tightening with every second. One cuts off the northern escape route, while a second closes in from the east, leaving no way out. When the distance narrows enough to feel the prey's breath, silence is torn apart by a threatening roar and a cloud of red dust. The attack is over in an instant. A display of killer instinct refined across 1,000 generations. A precise lunge ends all hope of resistance. Leaving a haunting silence across the vast grassland. On this land, the sacrifice of one life is the price paid for the survival of another in nature's unending cycle. The piglets flee in terror toward the burrow, reversing in so their tusks face outward, their very first lesson in the art of defense. And from the shadows, the glinting eyes of hyenas watch and wait, ready to claim whatever remains. As the shadow of the hunt fades, a harsh social order reveals itself under the midday sun. The feast of the sovereign is never a fair or peaceful affair. The male lion approaches with full majesty, using sheer dominance to claim first rights over the freshly fallen prey. This is the privilege of the one who holds power over life and death, an immutable law that has maintained royal bloodlines for centuries. The females must wait their turn, despite being the ones who sweated and bled in the hunt. Yet the scent of blood and fresh meat quickly rouses other opportunists across the plain. Spotted hyenas, predators brimming with cunning, are gathering in the shade of ancient acacia trees. Hyenas are far more than scavengers, as many believe they are formidable hunters in their own right, securing up to 70% of their food through their own kills. Their wild, cackling laughter echoes across the landscape, not joy, but a psychological tactic probing the patience of opponents. They do not rush in, but wait for the smallest opening to seize another's hard-won prize. The standoff between apex hunters and nature's cleanup crew is a battle of wits that has played out for millions of years. Meanwhile, another story begins quieter, but no less heartbreaking. The orphaned warthog piglets, now utterly alone, search desperately for shelter in dark earthen hollows. Without their mother's protection, primal instinct is their only compass between the boundary of life and death. They must learn to tell the sound of wind through dry grass from the footsteps of a stalking enemy. Their survival depends entirely on the speed of their adaptation and the unyielding perseverance encoded in their bloodline. The grassland never has room for weakness, but it always offers a chance to those who rise from loss. Yet what comes next will prove that no throne lasts forever. The reign of a male lion is never built on a foundation of permanent safety. The arrival of nomadic males from distant lands carries the pungent scent of rebellion. They observe from afar, measuring the strength of the current sovereign through every labored breath and heavy step. A battle for power is about to erupt, where fangs and courage will decide who controls the future of the pride. Glory is but a fleeting moment. Challenge never ends. In the dim moments before dawn, across the parched plains of Hwanghae National Park, mercy finds no place, only thirst endures. The river's great titan has feasted through the night, far from its watery home. Now, the journey back is a desperate race against the rising sun. Its skin, unable to sweat, cries out in the heat. A pink, oily secretion offers but flimsy protection. Ahead, an oasis of life beckons. But such a precious resource is seldom left unguarded. The lords of the dry land have already claimed it for themselves. A pride of lions, masters of the ambush, spies the lone traveler's approach. To them, this is a trespass, a challenge to their sovereignty. A confrontation is now inevitable. This is no contest of speed or agility, but a clash of will and brute force between two monarchs. The hippo, a river god exiled on land, does not falter. It is a living battlement, every inch of its being a testament to the will to survive. That gape is no sign of weariness, but a formidable warning. A display of lethal weaponry, with tusks that can puncture the toughest of hides. The lions, ever the strategists, understand the risks involved. A battle with this behemoth may bring victory, but the cost could be grievous injury. Steadfast resolve prevails. The pride grudgingly yields, a concession that some fights are simply not worth the price. The great titan has won its passage. And then, salvation. The cool water embraces a weary body. This is more than a drink. It is a homecoming, a rebirth into its own liquid kingdom. Beneath the shade of a large tree, life unfolds at a different pace. The soft morning light bathes their fur, dyeing it in shades of grey and gold. A large troop of chacma baboons is sitting. They are in no hurry. Morning is a time of tranquility. The adult males sit slightly apart, surveying their surroundings. Females gather closer to the trunk, cradling their young. They play, tumbling in the grass. One infant clings to its mother's fur, another curiously prods a nearby termite mound. Baboons will sometimes break them open, searching for termite larvae. A protein-rich breakfast. Some baboons stretch. One leisurely grooms its neighbor, searching for tiny parasites in its fur. This is not just about hygiene. It is about reinforcing relationships. In baboon society, everything is built on affection, hierarchy, and a silent exchange of signals. Each has its place. The alpha male, experienced and strong, may sit aside, but his presence is felt by the entire troop. Females form the core of the community, and the oldest are the keepers of its memory. While the sun begins to scorch the grass, it is still cool beneath the tree. One of the young ones, agile and inquisitive, scrambles up the trunk in play. No worries, no rush, just movement, life, and a warmth that intensifies with each passing hour. The landscape opens up, vast and without boundaries. Where the waterhole ends, infinity begins. Hundreds of kilometers of land stretch to the horizon, painted in tones of ochre, gold, and emerald. This is Huanga. It covers nearly 6,000 square miles, an area the size of a small nation. Zimbabwe is a country of contrasts. Mountain highlands and sand dunes, dense forests and arid savanna. And within this diversity, Huanga holds a special place as a sanctuary for life. The canopy offers shade where the world can hide and rest. Here, mopane trees grow, their leaves a deep, rich green. Beside them stand acacias, with their slender branches and sharp thorns, a reliable defense and a haven for many birds. Where the land becomes more arid, one finds the baobabs, living monuments of time. Every tree here is more than a plant. It is a refuge, a source of food, and a landmark. It is home. From the tall grass, where the air shimmers with heat, a powerful figure emerges, crowned with heavy, ringed horns. It is the waterbuck, one of Huanga's most recognizable inhabitants. It has white markings on its throat and a conspicuous bright ring around its tail. The waterbuck lives near water. Its shaggy coat, with its greasy hair, is waterproof. If danger is too close, it prefers to plunge into the water and swim rather than engage in a fight. The bulls are often solitary. This one, in the morning light, is cautious and calm. But when another appears nearby, a spark ignites between them. For a brief, almost playful moment, their horns lock. This is not anger. It is a test. Who is stronger? Who is more confident? And a little further on, like a phantom, another figure glides. Black, with broad wings and a patch of bare, crimson skin around its eyes. The southern ground hornbill, a rare, almost mythical bird that seldom takes to the sky. It prefers the ground, where it walks with measured steps. It may seem clumsy, but its bill is powerful and its eyesight keen. This is a species that can live for up to 40 years. At the water's edge, a lone tree leans towards the water, its branches spread like open palms. Its bark is worn by time and sun, but in the twists of its trunk there is a strength, like that of a wise old animal. Here there is no haste, only the moment and the light. The water is still, its surface a mirror. The savanna stretches beyond the horizon. The rare shadows of trees lie on the sand like traces of the past, and patches of green bush hold the day's coolness. In this palette is all of Africa, the ochre of the earth, the gold dust on the branches, the silver of the trunks, the blue of the water, and the endless sky. But that is enough, because in moments like these, you feel that everything here is in its rightful place. And every tree, every footprint in the sand, every glint of light is part of something greater. Beneath a tree, in the shade of its canopy, two young zebras are playing. This is not a quarrel, but a training game. In this way, young zebras develop strength and learn coordination. One gently nips its companion's neck, the other responds with a soft push. It is all a part of communication, a way to strengthen their bond. From the tall grass, a slender neck rises cautiously. A young giraffe emerges from the sea of gold. It is not alone. Beside it stands its mother, tall and attentive. She is browsing, but never takes her eyes off her calf. Only a few hours old, on unsteady legs, the world is a landscape of potential threats. The first lesson: always stay close to mother. But they are being watched. Perfectly concealed, an expert hunter has identified its target. For the lioness, such youth is a fatal weakness. Experience tells the mother, the wind has carried an ancient message. The scent of an enemy. A single moment of vulnerability, the predator strikes. In the midday shade, as the ground heats up, a giant approaches the water's edge, an African elephant, slow, confident, and majestic. It is in no hurry. Each footstep leaves a deep impression in the sand, like a mark of time. Hippos, submerged almost to their heads. Only their ears and nostrils are visible. They move gently, with a solemn grace, like guardians of the water. In the shallows, a flock of pelicans. Their white bodies are like halos on the water. They fear neither hippo nor elephant. Between these three species, there is a strange but understandable balance. Each is great in its own way. While the elephant drinks, raising its trunk and spraying water, the hippos sway gently in the deeper parts, and the pelicans continue their hunt. High on the branch of an ancient tree, a place where a leopard or cheetah might rest, a lioness has settled in. A rare sight, but this predator is no stranger to heights. It has climbed the thick branch with ease and lies there comfortably. From its high vantage point, it can see everything. Movement, shadow, scent. It does not sleep, it surveys its domain. Below, amongst the dry grass, a familiar figure appears, the young giraffe, the very same one. The lioness slowly rises. Its muscles are tense, yet supple. It descends without haste, without a sound. The grass falls silent. The air grows heavy. This is the second chance of the day. It moves low and sinuously, becoming part of the landscape itself. Gliding over the water with the grace of an ancient spirit is the African fish eagle, one of Africa's most recognizable birds of prey. but its spectacular dive is cut short. A huge pelican suddenly spreads its massive wings, turning its body into a feathered fortress. Speed confronts bulk. The wise hunter chooses not to risk injury. It utters a cry of concession and retreats to the canopy. In a flash of silent drama, the waterhole now belongs to the pelican. A few zebras graze in the golden sunlight, lazily chewing grass. Nearby, at the water's edge, young baboons are at play. One reaches for the mirrored surface, another chases a friend, setting off a squabble in the troop. But suddenly, there is a swift movement in the air. The African fish eagle returns. It seems it has not forgotten being robbed of its fish by a pelican moments ago. Now it is airborne again, making a turn and diving straight for the flock. The pelicans sound the alarm. They gather into a tight circle, opening their enormous beaks like shields. The eagle, at the last second, veers away and, after a graceful loop over the water, calmly perches on a nearby tree. On the ground, next to a fresh pile of dung, a yellow-billed hornbill is foraging, a charismatic bird with colorful plumage and a long, curved beak. These birds do not hesitate to seek food in the most unlikely of places. In the dung of herbivores, they find beetles, larvae, and other insects. Yellow-billed hornbills are extremely observant. They often follow herds of animals, taking advantage of the insects stirred up by hooves and tails. The lioness reclaims her position on the majestic branch, as if it were her personal lookout tower. Her failure with the young giraffe has not dulled her predatory instinct. She simply waits. From her perch, she has a commanding view of the entire waterhole and the movements of the savannah. Atop a withered tree, the sentinels of the baboon troop sit watch. Their posture is expressive. This is not rest, but vigilance. Their high position gives them a clear advantage. From up here, everything that happens on the plain is visible. Along the bank, through the shallows, a crocodile glides almost silently. Only its long snout and the ridges of its back, like an ancient carving, reveal the predator's presence. At the other end of the waterhole, a completely different scene. A group of ducks is feeding, heads dipped below the surface. They upend themselves with the skill of acrobats, gathering food from the bottom. This is the Nile crocodile, slow and ponderous. With each step leaving deep impressions in the clay bank, it emerges from the water. Beneath its scaled armor is the power of up to half a ton. Adults can weigh from 800 to over 1,500 pounds. At 13 to 16 feet long, this predator is one of the most formidable inhabitants of Africa's waters. And not far off, crowded at the bank, zebras are drinking, unconcerned, absorbed in their thirst. A male lion walks without haste, as if time belongs to him. His thick mane ripples in the light breeze, and his amber eyes gaze forward with confidence. The lion is alone, and he knows the plain is his. But if you look closely, he wears a collar. This is not a mark of captivity, but a sign of scientific attention. A GPS device allows scientists to track the predator's path across the savannah. Where it travels at night, where it crosses the boundaries of unfamiliar territories. When the lion pauses at a waterhole, the signal records his stop. When he moves stealthily in the night, the device transmits his route. And if he should ever leave the park's boundaries, researchers will be the first to know. He himself does not know he is being watched, and that is as it should be. What matters is that he continues to walk the savannah as proud and free as ever. The saddle-billed stork is already there. It stands at the water's edge, motionless in its unusual posture. Its legs, which seem to bend forward at the knee, give its silhouette an almost surreal appearance. This is not a flaw of nature, but an evolutionary solution. In birds, the limbs are constructed differently, and what looks like a knee is actually their ankle. In this stance, the stork can wait for a long time, scanning for movement in the water. To the bank comes a great herd of wildebeest, ponderous, crowded into a dense mass of horned shapes. The rhythm of their movement, slow and confident, speaks of a long-held understanding of this land. Some drink, some watch, but the group stays together like a single organism. The wanderers of the savannah. Their physique can seem ungainly. But behind this awkward exterior lies a perfect adaptation for long journeys. They can walk and run for hours, covering hundreds of kilometers in search of water and green pasture. The wind stirs their shaggy manes. A watchful silence hangs in the air. On the golden grass, set apart from the other creatures, two secretary birds wander like a pair of scouts. Graceful and unusual, with their long legs and a crest of quills, they seem to be observing order on the plain. In fact, these are not secretary birds, but Cory bustards, Africa's heaviest flying bird. But at this hour, they are in no hurry to take flight. The savannah is generous with food. Despite their weight, these birds can fly, but they do so reluctantly. An elephant approaches a sprawling tree, its curved branches seeming to embrace the air above the dry grass. It inspects the trunk as if considering which side to approach. The branches tremble, leaves rustle, and from above fall pieces of bark, pods, or dry twigs. The elephant picks them up, nudging them gently with its trunk, as if aware of the value of each piece. Such actions are not random. Elephants are highly intelligent. They remember waterholes that dry up only once in decades and can lead their herd to a hidden source many kilometers away. They know how to use tools, such as a branch for a fly swat, and learn new things with ease. But most importantly, they know how to feel. When an elephant shakes a tree, there is no anger or randomness in it. It is a precise, deliberate act. Near the water's edge, there is noise and merriment. On a slope, as if on a playground, a group of young baboons is frolicking. But their antics do not go unnoticed. Nearby sits an adult baboon, calm and watchful. It is like a stern minder in a nursery. It stays slightly apart, but its every glance is meaningful. This is social care in action, a fundamental part of baboon life. The young play together, and the adults watch over them, taking turns to stand guard. The sun sinks towards the horizon, and across the savannah, long, soft shadows fall. The temperature, which held at around 86 degrees Fahrenheit during the day, begins to drop rapidly. By dusk, it is already near 64 degrees. The baboons gather closer, climbing into the trees for the night. They sit quietly on the branches. The pelicans, having found a secluded inlet, stand still in the tall reeds, like white stones. A herd of zebras, with their foals, slowly moves away from the water's edge, heading for the safety of the thickets. The wildebeest lie down on the ground in a dense mass, their ears pricked towards the open plain. They rest in a state of alert, half asleep, and somewhere in the shadows of the trees, an elephant appears again. It walks slowly along a dusty path, feeling the ground with its feet, as if testing its mood. Overhead, the moon rises, steady and bright, and with it, night descends. And so, another day in Huanga comes to a close. A day in which every creature has found its place. Here, in the heart of wild Zimbabwe, life never stops, not even for a minute. Unlike the unpredictable prey, the Nile crocodile eagerly awaits the grand feast that takes place annually from July to October. During this period, the Mara River transforms into a bustling corridor for the Great Migration. Over 1.5 million wildebeest, along with 300,000 zebras and hundreds of thousands of gazelles, leave Tanzania's Serengeti. As seasoned predators, the Nile crocodiles lie in wait, hidden beneath the water's surface as the great herds gather anxiously along the riverbanks. The mortality rate in the migrating herds can be as high as 10 to 15%, with many falling victim to the sudden, brutal ambushes of these ancient reptiles. As the Mara River's current swells, the wildebeest plunge in with collective force and unshakable determination. Once a crossing point is identified, the entire herd surges forward like a relentless wave. Often interspersed with the black and white striped zebras, the chaos makes it difficult for crocodiles to single out a target. Wildebeest also communicate through warning calls, alerting the entire herd to impending danger and enhancing their collective survival. The zebras, though fewer in number, act as the pioneers of the migration. They understand that the Mara River is a deadly arena dominated by lurking crocodiles. Instead, they rely on solidarity, waiting until their numbers have swelled before making the perilous journey together. This collective approach forms a moving wall of bodies, reducing the chance of any single zebra being targeted. The zebras further enhance their chances of survival by mingling with the enormous herds of wildebeest. When both species plunge into the river together, they create a massive, surging force. This relentless battle for survival is driven not just by instinct, but by solidarity. When faced with danger, the zebras become the warriors of the migration, pushing forward through the perilous waters of the Mara. Surviving the treacherous Mara River is just the beginning. In the harsh and unforgiving ecosystem of the Mara, other giants are lurking, ready to strike any unsuspecting prey. The relationship between the Nile crocodile and big cats, like the lion and the leopard, is one of cautious confrontation. A lion pride is not just a group of animals. It is a highly structured society, typically comprising 10 to 15 members. The lionesses, slender yet powerful, are the primary hunters, working together with remarkable precision to bring down prey. For the lion, every confrontation is not just a test of strength. It is a display of pride, resilience, and the will to survive. These baboons live in complex groups called harems, which can number over 150 individuals, functioning as small societies with tight-knit structures. The Mara River is both a vital source of life and a dangerous battlefield for these primates. When the baboon troop approaches the water's edge, they remain highly vigilant. sharp eyes scan every ripple, and ears are tuned to any unusual sound. When threatened, the olive baboon emits a loud bark that echoes along the riverbanks. The dominant males react immediately, creating even louder noises. Dawn on the African savanna is a spectacular sight, awakening the landscape in a symphony of colors and sounds. As the first rays of dawn break over the horizon, the sky transforms into a stunning palette of orange, pink, and purple, casting a warm glow over the vast grasslands. As the sun climbs higher, its golden rays illuminate the dew-drenched grass, glittering like diamonds in the morning light. The shadows of the acacia trees stand tall on the horizon, their iconic shapes creating a striking contrast against the vibrant sky. For many, dawn on the African savanna is not just a visual feast, but a reminder of the interconnectedness of life, the beauty of nature. This moment of peace and awakening is fleeting, but it sets the stage for the vibrant, sometimes harsh realities of life on the savanna. The lion, often called the king of the savanna, strength, majesty, and a complex social structure define its journey to dominance. The lion's journey begins at birth, where the cubs enter a world that is both nurturing and dangerous. Usually born in litters of 2 to 4, these vulnerable creatures are completely dependent on their mother for nourishment and protection. The lioness, as the primary caregiver, imparts essential survival skills to her young. Lions tend to stay in their birth pride, while young males face a critical juncture. Typically, at the age of 2 to 3, the males are driven out by the dominant males, prompting a quest for independence. The transition from dependence to independence is fraught with challenges. After leaving the pride, the young males begin a nomadic journey that can last several years. This phase of their life is marked by uncertainty as they must navigate the dangers of the savannah. The pinnacle of a male lion's journey often occurs when he successfully defeats the resident males of a pride, allowing him to claim it as his own. Upon assuming leadership, the male steps into a new role: protector, provider, and mate. He must defend the pride against challengers and establish dominance over his territory. The lion's journey to becoming the king of the savannah is a profound tale of resilience, competition, and the complex dynamics of pride life. As apex predators, lions not only symbolize power and majesty, but also embody the intricacies of social structures in the animal kingdom. Known for their adaptability and solitary nature, leopards are one of the most versatile big cats, capable of thriving in diverse environments. During the dry season in the Kalahari, these majestic cats face unique challenges. And exhibit remarkable behaviors that highlight their resilience and adaptability. Hunting is a crucial aspect of a leopard's life, and during the dry season, the availability and behavior of prey species dictate their hunting strategies. In the Kalahari, common prey includes springbok, impala, and duiker, all of which can become more difficult to hunt as the dry season progresses. As water sources become scarce, herbivores tend to congregate around the few remaining water holes, making them more accessible to leopards. Leopards employ stealth and patience when stalking their prey, using their spotted coats to blend in with their surroundings. Their exceptional climbing abilities also allow them to ambush prey from trees, a strategy that can be particularly effective during the dry season. During the dry season, hunting becomes crucial for survival. Leopards tend to hunt more frequently during the cooler parts of the day or at night. Leopards are solitary animals, with both males and females maintaining large territories that they patrol and defend from intruders. During the dry season, territorial marking becomes increasingly important as competition for resources intensifies. Surviving the Kalahari's dry season requires significant adaptation from the leopard. Their physiology is well suited for a life of stealth and ambush. However, to thrive in this arid environment, leopards have also developed behaviors and physiological traits that allow them to cope with extreme temperatures. Leopards possess excellent climbing abilities, often retreating to trees, where they can escape danger and store their kills from other predators. Although they primarily hunt ungulates, they can switch to preying on smaller mammals or birds when large prey is scarce. Leopards play a crucial role in the Kalahari ecosystem as apex predators. By controlling herbivore populations, leopards ensure that the vegetation remains healthy and resilient. The Kalahari Desert, often characterized by its vast, arid landscapes and seasonal changes, is a unique habitat for a variety of wildlife, including the fastest land animal on Earth, the cheetah. Hunting is a critical aspect of a cheetah's life, and during the dry season, the availability and behavior of prey become especially important. Common cheetah prey in the Kalahari includes small to medium-sized ungulates like springbok, impala, and gazelles. Cheetahs are renowned for their incredible speed, capable of reaching up to 60 miles per hour in short bursts. This speed is a crucial asset during hunts. During the dry season, cheetahs often rely on their keen eyesight to spot potential prey from a distance. The dry season presents both opportunities and challenges for hunting. With sparse vegetation, herbivores are more visible. However, as water sources dwindle, prey can become more vigilant, increasing the difficulty of successful hunts. The cheetah's unique hunting style, which involves a combination of sprinting and sharp turns, allows it to outmaneuver prey that relies on endurance rather than speed. While cheetahs are often solitary animals, their social structures are more flexible than those of lions. Female cheetahs typically raise their cubs alone, teaching them essential hunting skills and survival techniques. During the dry season, the mother's role becomes crucial as resources become scarce. On the other hand, male cheetahs may form small groups called coalitions, often consisting of brothers. These coalitions can enhance hunting success and provide protection. Surviving the Kalahari's dry season requires cheetahs to exhibit remarkable adaptations to cope with extreme temperatures and limited water. Their light-colored coats provide camouflage in the sandy environment, aiding in stalking prey. Furthermore, cheetahs have large nasal passages and lungs that allow for efficient oxygen intake. During the dry season, water becomes a primary concern for all desert-dwelling animals, including the cheetah. Cheetahs are highly adaptable and can survive for long periods without drinking water directly, obtaining the necessary moisture from their prey. Cheetahs play a vital role in the Kalahari ecosystem as apex predators. Their hunting activities help regulate prey populations, preventing overgrazing and promoting biodiversity. The majestic oryx, a symbol of resilience in the desert. In the arid lands of Namibia, where the sun beats down relentlessly and the earth is painted in hues of ochre and gold, the oryx stands as a testament to nature's resilience and beauty. The oryx, particularly the desert oryx, is a majestic creature characterized by its long, straight horns that can reach lengths of up to 35 inches. The oryx's coat is a beautiful blend of sandy beige and white, providing perfect camouflage against the desert sands. Standing about 4 feet tall at the shoulder, the oryx's muscular build is designed for endurance. Its long legs allow for swift movement across the vast desert expanses. The oryx primarily inhabits the Namib Desert along with semi-arid regions and sparse grasslands. The oryx is renowned for its extraordinary ability to go for long periods without drinking water. They derive moisture from the vegetation they consume, such as grasses, leaves, and succulents. Socially, the oryx is often found in small herds, typically consisting of females and their young, led by a dominant male. The oryx stands as a majestic symbol of resilience, embodying the harsh beauty of the Namib Desert. In a world where survival often depends on the smallest of adaptations,